Hi guys, I'm Nate with Good Mayhem Racing. When my friends and I race in the desert, we have to deal with devices overheating, like our Garmin Tread XLs. Anytime that we are chasing a desert race car and stuff like that, any electronics from your cell phone to your tablets to these devices here can overheat when they're on the dashboard of your car. Think about it. If you have your F-150 chase truck or you're in a Tacoma or something like that, waiting for your buddies to come get to the pits so they can get their vehicle serviced, you're usually going to be tracking them either with your Garmin device, your cell phone, Starlink, something like that. These can get hot when they're in that car that's sitting idle. You don't have air conditioning running in your car, your electronics are going to get hot. So I have made a solution for the Garmin Tread XLs and their smaller brethren. They are heat shields that go behind the device. You are looking at the tablet, but the heat shield protects it. So the direct sunlight bakes this little part here, not the Garmin underneath it. Let's see how it fits. Snaps in real nice. You still have access to the lock on the back side of the Garmin, so it all holds it real steady. The other thing that's really cool about the heat shield is that it doesn't really impact your field of view. This thing doesn't take up more surface area in your windshield compared to the Garmin. This is an install video walking you through how this works. It's pretty self-explanatory, but for those who are curious about the process, this is how it goes. Step one, take your magnetic base from your Garmin Chase kit and take it apart. You're gonna take this block and separate it from the mounting ball you see here. You have 4 nuts. They are 7 millimeters and they are connected to a Phillips head screwdriver. It doesn't take a lot of force to get these things pulled apart. You don't need a lot of force when you're putting it back together. Finger tight is pretty much all you need. If I were to put an actual torque spec to it, I would guess it'd be around 7 inch-pounds. Okay, all 4 7 millimeter nuts have been removed. Now let's separate the ball from the base. The 4 screws need to stay in. And now you're gonna take the back side of the heat shield and mount it to the base. Insert the red plug through the smaller of the 2 holes. Let it free sit like this, and then push it to one side. That way you can keep the screws in there and stop them from falling off. You can see that all 4 screws are still on. Now it's just a game of getting your nuts mounted to your screws. Don't worry about getting the nut tight at this stage. Just get all 4 nuts on it. Once you have all 4 nuts on, it should feel loose. Tighten it up to where it's hard to slide back and forth, but not tight. Okay, all 4 are snug now, so I should be able to gently slide this thing back and forth. Yep, that's taking a lot of force, that's good. These things don't have to be centered to this. The antenna needs to be centered here. And I'm talking about the antenna on the Garmin itself. Take the magnetic base, slap your Garmin onto it, and use that to center this well. You can see how this has got a little bit of a gap here. You can push the unit in place until it's nice and flat. I'm going to work with the tilt of it to make sure it's nice and square. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your heat shield actually has some flex into it. So all of these areas fit fine, but it'll just look cool if you do that. Now let's tighten these things up because they're in a good spot. And again, finger tight is all you need. As soon as it starts getting snug and the bolt doesn't want to move, listen to it, stop. Don't make it any tighter than that, not because of the 3D print, but because you'll strip the bolts. These are little tiny 4 millimeter or 3 millimeter screws. They will strip out very easily. The heat shield is now mounted to the Garmin magnetic base. The real goal of this thing is to protect it from impacts and protect it from heat. That direct sunlight is a great thing to avoid with these devices. Here are 2 Garmin setups with them. If you are going to consider purchasing these, they are $50 a pair. I sell these things in pairs. They are consumables. They are designed to protect your device, and if they are sacrificed, they have done their job. Check them out at my website over at Good Mayhem Racing. Thank you so much for watching the install video on the XL Heat Shield. I will see you out in the desert, if not my garage. Like and subscribe for more.